the PlayStation Vita. Despite being a handheld console that's been around for over a decade now, it still boasts an impressive selection of games, especially for JRPG fans. That's because it has been relatively successful in Japan, resulting in a plethora of JRPGs developed for this handheld. However, many of these games have gone unnoticed in the West, leaving many unaware of the console's capabilities and the depth of its library in the genre. To address this, we've compiled a list of some of the best JRPGs available on the PlayStation Vita. Of course, you may have your own favorites that didn't make the list, so feel free to share them with us in the comment section below.
You better be ready!
MeiQ, Labyrinth of Death. MeiQ Labyrinth of Death is a dungeon-crawling RPG created by Compile Heart, a developer best known for their Hyperdimension Neptunia and Record of Agorist War series. The gameplay is similar to a classic dungeon crawler, drawing inspiration from Atlus' Etrian Odyssey series on the Nintendo 3DS. While it may not possess the same degree of refinement and sophistication as the Etrian Odyssey games, and the art style is somewhat simplistic, MeiQ still offers an enjoyable JRPG experience for fans of the genre. Tokyo Xanadu. Tokyo Xanadu, a spin-off of the classic action RPG Dragon Slayer 2 Xanadu, is set in an alternate version of Tokyo recovering from an earthquake that occurred a decade ago. The story revolves around Ko Tokisaka, a high school student who stumbles upon his classmate in a mysterious situation one night. Upon investigating, Ko is drowned into the nightmarish world called Eclipse. Asuka Hiiragi, his classmate, discloses that she and a group named Nemesis are on a mission to seal this realm. The game features real-time combat mechanics. Demon Gaze. In the last decade, dungeon-crawling RPGs have experienced a resurgence, with Demon Gaze being one of them. It boasts a stunning art style and some truly remarkable enemy designs. Like the finest dungeon crawlers, it features labyrinths teeming with puzzles, traps, and treasure. However, what sets Demon Gaze apart is its engaging storyline, which is a rarity in the dungeon crawling games.
And she's actually the weakest.
World of Final Fantasy. Upon its release in 2016, World of Final Fantasy didn't receive much attention, likely overshadowed by the anticipation for the upcoming release of Final Fantasy XV. However, World of Final Fantasy is an enchanting game that every Final Fantasy fan should experience. This title embraces the classic turn-based RPG style of earlier Final Fantasies, complemented by stunning visuals and an impressive soundtrack. Additionally, it introduces a Pokemon-inspired monster racing system, allowing players to battle alongside a variety of Final Fantasy creatures. The endearing chibi versions of Final Fantasy's protagonists are enjoyable to behold, and the roster includes some unexpected characters. While appearances from popular characters like Cloud and Lightning are predictable, the inclusion of lesser-known figures like Shulk from Dirge of Cerberus and Charlotta from Echoes of Time is pleasantly surprising. World of Final Fantasy is a delightful, underrated gem that you shouldn't miss.
Out there. To take action, you need to spend something called action points. Also,
Valhalla Knights 3. In this team-based arena RPG, players assemble a squad of 7 warriors from 7 different classes to compete against another team of 7 warriors in single-player or online battles. The game offers a robust character building system and gameplay well adapted for handheld devices. Regrettably, Valhalla Knights 3's mission mode and story content are somewhat simplistic and uninspired. Nevertheless, the multiplayer component of Valhalla Knights 3 is enjoyable, featuring 7v7 real-time battles that add excitement to the game. Persona 4 Golden. The Persona series is a highly esteemed JRPG franchise, with Persona 4 on the PlayStation 2 being considered one of its finest installments. It was only natural for an expanded version to be developed eventually. Persona 4 Golden follows the original story of Yu, who relocates from the city to a rural town, only to become embroiled in solving local murder mysteries. In addition to its signature fusion of RPG and simulation elements, Persona 4 Golden offers an extended story, incorporating new characters, personas, outfits, and cutscenes, enriching the overall experience.
Holy crap. I think this is all too much for my bladder.
Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD Remaster. A highly acclaimed JRPG, now available in portable form, Final Fantasy X was a remarkable accomplishment on the PlayStation 2 and continues to be relevant. With its endearing cast of characters, an elegant and engaging combat system, stunning visuals, and an exceptional soundtrack, Final Fantasy X deserves the fond memories it has earned. Although X-2 may not quite reach the same height, it is a decent game in its own right, and it has a memorable battle mechanic that has unfortunately been overshadowed over time. Cosmic Star Heroine. Cosmic Star Heroine's Vita port arrived in April 2018, towards the end of the handheld's life cycle. However, patient fans were rewarded with a beautiful and entertaining JRPG homage, making it a valuable addition for on-the-go gamers. This excellent title enhances any digital library and, thanks to limited-run games, is also available as a physical copy for both PS4 and PS Vita. The limited runs sold out within a day of the pre-order announcement, indicating a strong fan-base demand and reinforcing the idea that this JRPG-styled Western RPG is well worth experiencing in the palm of your hand. Disgaea 3 Absence of Detention. Disgaea 3 Absence of Detention, an enhanced port of the PS3 original, was released on the PlayStation Vita in 2011. While also available for the PS3, the turn-based tactical RPG's mechanics, gameplay, and visuals are more fitting for handheld systems like the PS Vita. Furthermore, Absence of Detention introduces new characters, story missions, and a refined interface, making it the ultimate edition of the game. Although the humor and characters may be an acquired taste compared to similar titles like Final Fantasy Tactics, Disgaea is recognized as one of the most profound and content-rich games ever created. Odin Sphere Leifthrasir. The PS2 classic Odin Sphere was reimagined for the PS Vita as Odin Sphere Leifthrasir. Set in the fictional continent of Heroine, the game revolves around a fierce war between the nations of Ragnarval and Ringford, vying for control of a potent weapon called the Crystallization Cauldron. Odin Sphere Leifthrasir follows the intertwined stories of 5 characters, their involvement in the war, and their connection to a potential catastrophe known as Armageddon that could devastate the continent. The game combines beat-em-up side-scrolling action with role-playing elements, all of which have been improved in the remake. Natural Doctrine. Natural Doctrine is an incredibly challenging experience. In fact, the term difficult hardly captures the true intensity of this tactical JRPG. It may actually induce more frustration than Dark Souls. However, if you persevere and push through the struggle, you'll uncover a game characterized by its intricate beauty and methodical pacing, making each victory feel genuinely rewarding. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth revisits the fundamentals, offering engaging turn-based gameplay and entertaining monster-catching mechanics that can captivate players for hours, even competing with Pokemon. The process of digivolving your adorable cyber creatures is incredibly addictive, and with hundreds of options, crafting the ideal team requires effort but is immensely enjoyable. Cyber Sleuth also features an intriguing story with dynamic characters and a vibrant world, both real and digital, that will linger in your thoughts for weeks. Accompanied by an electrifying techno soundtrack from Danganronpa's composer. Muramasa Rebirth. Muramasa Rebirth, an enhanced port of Muramasa the Demon Blade, was released for the PlayStation Vita in 2013, following its original release on the Nintendo Wii in 2009. The game was developed by Vanillaware, a company renowned for their distinctive RPGs, striking art design, and exceptional storytelling, as seen in games like Odin Sphere and the remarkable 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. As a 2D action RPG, Muramasa features artwork inspired by Japanese paintings from the Edo period. Its gameplay combines both old-school and contemporary elements, skillfully blending action and RPG mechanics in a manner that is engaging and addictive. Child of Light. At a first glance, Child of Light may seem like a platformer. However, it seamlessly incorporates numerous role-playing elements. The game follows the story of Aurora, a young girl who succumbed to a mysterious illness, only to awaken in the unfamiliar land of Lemuria. Aurora's mission is to rejuvenate the land by saving the sun, moon, and stars from the Queen of the Night. The game employs an active time battle system, reminiscent of those found in Final Fantasy games. Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 2. As the reigning champion of the otaku JRPG genre, Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 2 is a high-quality remake of the equally impressive PlayStation 3 original, featuring characters that embody various game consoles and a narrative that reflects the trials and tribulations faced by the gaming industry. Rebirth 2 serves as a satirical commentary. Bolstered by an enjoyable turn-based combat system and stunning artwork from Tunako, Rebirth 2 is undoubtedly a worthy investment.
Sorry. Do you want your shots?
Steins Gate. The Vita has emerged as a sanctuary for visual novels, and Steins Gate is one of such games. Its choice system revolves around the protagonist's mobile phone, requiring players to decide how to respond to calls or texts, or whether to respond at all. These decisions lead to multiple endings, all of which are intriguing and worthwhile. Coupled with stylish character designs, captivating music, and a plot centered around speculative scientific theories about time travel and the multiverse, Steins Gate is a remarkable experience. Playing Steins Gate might just serve as a gateway to a deeper appreciation for visual novels. Soul Sacrifice Delta. Launched in 2014, Soul Sacrifice Delta is a digital-only action RPG developed by Sony's Japan studio. As a sequel and expansion to the original Soul Sacrifice released a year earlier, Delta serves as the definitive edition for fans. While Soul Sacrifice shares similarities with Monster Hunter, its distinct saving and sacrificing mechanics set it apart. Delta introduces a new faction and story content inspired by the Brothers Grimm fairy tales.
Now then, let's get this done.
Atelier, Totori Plus, The Adventure of Arland. A title that made its way to the PS Vita following its initial release. Atelier Totori Plus, The Adventure of Arland marks the 12th installment in the Atelier series and the first to be launched on the PS Vita. Set 5 years after the events of its predecessor, Atelier Verona, The Alchemist of Arland, The Adventurer of Arland follows a girl named Totori in search of her missing mother. Under Verona's guidance, Totori learns alchemy, a skill she utilizes throughout her journey around the world, as she holds onto the belief that her mother is still alive. Rainbow Moon. Rainbow Moon is a game that features plenty of grinding, but when the process is this entertaining, it's hard to find fault. Similar to a traditional JRPG, you'll travel from one village to another, undertaking quests and exploring a succession of dungeons. With hundreds of experience levels to gain and a wide array of skills to develop along the way, combined with a lively pace, this game becomes incredibly hard to set aside. You might think, just one more battle, and suddenly, you'll find yourself immersed until the break of dawn. Ys Origin. Ys Origin marks the inception of the esteemed Ys series and serves as an ideal entry point for newcomers. It stands out as one of the best titles in the series. Unlike most other Ys games that focused on the fan-favorite protagonist Adol, Origin introduces 3 distinct characters, each with their own unique combat style. Unica Tova, who shares Adol's lightning-fast attacks. Hugo Fact, a master of magic and ranged attacks. And a third enigmatic character whose story sets the series' events in motion. Ys Origins embraces its simplicity, offering smooth and accessible combat while still providing challenging boss battles that demand skillful tactics and evasion. As expected from a Falcom game, the soundtrack is exhilarating and adrenaline-pumping. Freedom Wars. Launched in 2014 as a PlayStation Vita exclusive, Freedom Wars is an action RPG that shares similarities with the Monster Hunter series. Developed by Sony's Japan studios, it merits more recognition as one of the finest Monster Hunter-inspired games and console exclusives available for the system. With exceptional production values, the game boasts impressive visuals, sound design, and audio tracks. Set in a post-apocalyptic Earth, Freedom Wars follows volunteers who must battle for their freedom by hunting enormous monsters called abductors. The combat is fast-paced, it's thrilling, and it's highly dynamic, with the zipline grapple mechanics adding an extra layer of excitement. Ys Memories of Celceta. Nihon Falcom has a reputation for creating numerous role-playing games, and along with Tokyo Xanadu and Ys Origin, one of its finest JRPGs on Vita is Ys Memories of Celceta. the fourth canonical installment in the Ys series. Set after Ys 2, but before the events of Ys the Oath in Felghana, players take on the role of Adol Kristin, who begins the game with amnesia and embarks on a journey filled with mystery and intrigue. As with other entries in this series, Memories of Celceta features real-time combats where each party member possesses distinct attacks that are exclusive to them. Disgaea 4, A Promise Revisited. Disgaea games consistently offer an experience that you can immerse yourself in for months, focusing on leveling up characters and items while often sidelining the story mode in favor of randomized dungeons. Disgaea 4 stands as one of the best entry in the series, boasting an outstanding lead character and numerous subtle improvements that come naturally for a franchise with such a long history. Just be mindful of those prinnies, dude. Ys 8, Lacrimosa of Dana. Yep, another Ys game. Ys series protagonist Adol Kristin's bad luck with boats reaches new heights in Ys 8. Adol, along with his friend Doggy and other passengers, is stranded on the mysterious island of Shiren after their ship is attacked by a sea monster. The island is home to various extinct primordial dinosaurs, and Adol dreams of an ancient civilization's young priestess. The plot of Lacrimosa of Dana is the most complex in the Ys series, but players will find joy in exploring the island, discovering secrets, participating in intense combat, and managing the castaway village. If you enjoy flashy action RPG combats, large spaces to explore, and fantastic fishing minigames, Ys 8 is highly recommended. Shiren the Wanderer, the Tower of Fortune and the Dice of Fate. Shiren the Wanderer is part of the Mystery Dungeon franchise developed by Spike Chunsoft. As with other games in this Shiren series, the game follows a wanderer named Shiren and his talking weasel Kappa as they attempt to climb the tower of the title to verify the rumors about a god that can alter their fate. The gameplay revolves around exploring dungeons and engaging in turn-based combat with monsters. Conception 2, Children of the Seven Stars. While Spike Chunsoft is best recognized for the popular Danganronpa series of the PlayStation Vita, Conception 2, despite being overlooked, is an exceptional game on its own. The game draws inspiration from the Persona series and features a fascinating character development system and enjoyable dungeon crawling. Although its suggestive themes may not be to everyone's taste, they remain present throughout the game and don't detract from the overall experience. Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. The creators of Danganronpa had three main objectives: to create a game that would make players feel intelligent and accomplished by solving complex murder cases, to make players develop an attachment to the game's unique cast of high school students, and to shock players by killing off those same students through brutal and gruesome murders, all displayed in bright pink blood. The first Danganronpa game fulfills these goals seamlessly. However, it's not wise to get too attached to any of these eccentric teenagers, as Danganronpa has a tendency to kill them off just when the player starts to form a bond with them. The game revolves around complex crime scenes, intense murder trials, and even includes a simulation of school life, making Danganronpa the quintessential murder mystery visual novel on the PlayStation Vita. Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair. It is no surprise that the entire Danganronpa trilogy will be making it onto this list, but the second game is undoubtedly the best. Like its predecessor, Goodbye Despair put 16 students from Hope's Peak Academy in Monokuma's killing game. However, this time, they are stranded on a tropical island called Jabberwock Island. The new characters are even more outlandish and memorable than the previous cast, and it is likely that everyone will have a favorite. But as the series has taught us, expect the unexpected. Beloved characters die, and plot twists abound, and the game's conclusion is sure to leave players puzzled. Goodbye Despair raises the intensity bar to new heights and never lets up. Class trials are back, and the addition of new mini-games and improvements makes them more enjoyable. Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony. The announcement of Danganronpa V3 had fans speculating about whether a third entry would be too much of a good thing, given how thrilling and subversive its predecessors were. However, Team Danganronpa kept this concern in mind while developing the finale to their beloved series of hyperkinetic detective RPGs. Monokuma is back to his devilish ways, having trapped 16 students within his trademark killing game. But things may not be as they seem. Danganronpa V3 is one of the most self-aware games ever made, as it plays with narrative and audience expectations in a way that only video games can. This results in a fitting and incredibly satisfying send-off to an outstanding series. Oreshika, Tainted Bloodlines. Reviving an old game through a remaster is always a good sight, but it's even better when a sequel is released after almost 15 years. Oreshika Tainted Bloodlines is a follow-up to the 1999 PlayStation title Orenoshi Kabane Okoete Yuke, set a century after the events of the original game. The game's plot revolves around a cursed family preparing to battle against a demon, and players must defeat enemies to earn points to ensure the survival of the bloodline for future generations. The Legend of Heroes: Trails of Cold Steel. The Legend of Heroes series is highly esteemed by JRPG fans, despite some games lacking an English version for now. Well, Trails of Cold Steel, set in the imperialistic nation of Erebonia, marks the beginning of a new arc in the series and provides a good starting point for newcomers. The story centers around Ryan and his classmates in Class 7, and their journey builds gradually to a thrilling climax. The turn-based combat system is both strategic and enjoyable, and the music is outstanding. While the graphics are a bit dated, and the game may not always run smoothly, Trails of Cold Steel is still an impressive feat for a handheld game. JRPG enthusiasts searching for superb world building, along with all the aforementioned features, should definitely give Trails of Cold Steel a try. The Legend of Heroes: Trails of Cold Steel 2. The 7th entry in the Trails sub-series. The story takes place a month after the ending of the first game, where Rayon Schwarzer found himself in the middle of the Erebonian Civil War. The game continues with the same turn-based battle system as its predecessor, and it follows Rayon as he travels around the world. Choices made in the first game have a significant impact on the story and gameplay of the second.
The steam here is plenty to keep me warm. Oh no.
Sorcery Saga: The Curse of the Great Curry God. Finding a good roguelike game can be challenging, but Sorcery Saga on the PlayStation Vita stands out as one of the best. Its impressive character design, humorous and relevant plot, and engaging gameplay make it an excellent example of the genre. While it doesn't revolutionize the roguelike formula, Sorcery Saga executes it masterfully. The game features randomly generated environments that provide an array of weapons to collect, curries to cook, and enemies to defeat. It's easy to become addicted to the game, despite the occasional frustration of losing all your hard-earned loot to an enemy. Tales of Hearts R. The Tales series has been around for 26 years, dating back to 1995, with a total of 16 mainline titles and numerous spin-offs. One of the main entries in this series is Tales of Hearts, which was initially released for the Nintendo DS. The game's plot revolves around a young boy named Core Meteor, who tries to save a woman named Kohaku Hearts from being fully infected by a monster. Unfortunately, his attempts lead to the destruction of her Spirea, and its pieces end up scattered all over the world. The game is an action RPG, and the remake version for the PS Vita features fully rendered character models and 3D environments. And that's a wrap on our ultimate list of PS Vita JRPGs. We've explored some fantastic titles that truly showcase the handheld's prowess in the genre. If you're eager for more, don't forget to watch our videos on the ultimate lists of PSP and PSP2 JRPGs. You might just find your next gaming obsession.